Everybody's ready, we'll call the meeting to order. Call roll, Angie.
Jack Banks.
Here.
Kenny Anderson.
Here.
Deb Collier. Here. Teddy Smith.
Here.
Benny McCall. Judge Atkins.
Here. Benny had another meeting that conflicted his schedule, so he won't be able to make it today. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, and Jack, can you lead us in prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you today, Father. We're always thankful, Lord, for the blessings you give us. Thank you, Lord, for yesterday, for the reminder of why we celebrate Easter, the true meaning. Father, we pray, Lord, that you watched over all of our families in our community and our county. We ask, Lord, that you'll bless us, bless this meeting. Bless us, Father, do what we need to do best for all. And Lord, we just ask blessings for our country and this entire world, Father. And that's, Lord, as we close, we just want to give you praise and honor and glory for it all. We ask, Lord, in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to welcome everybody here this morning, Monday, April 21st, 2025. We'll start with the committee reports. We got any committee reports? Move on to the minutes of our previous meetings. We had a regular call and a special call, I believe. Any changes or a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Okay. Call roll. Kenny.
Yeah. Sorry. Jack.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yes.
Deb. Yes. Teddy.
Yes.
Judge Atkins.
Yes. New business, item number 1, update from rural and secondary roads, Mr. Ken Mullins. Ken. Welcome back, Ken.
This year's rural secondary patching. Straight down this before we, all of my will be asphalt patching, starting with 343, which is 15 holler. I know 343 with neon, that area needs attention, but it's not part of the rural secondary fund, so 15 holler will get patching. 1103 line for into quite a bit of attention as well. 1148, this fall we'll be putting some more asphalt on there. They're out there currently today, and we'll be adding to it this fall. 20 to 35 Little Collie, and 26 the Hill Aircraft Store. It's got a couple of spots on the sill as well. And then we'll finish up with 3619, which is the old portion of US 119 on the side of Pine Mountain. It's now part of the rural secondary, and it is patching that as well. So, I know we've got lots of asphalt needs throughout, 1 or 2 roads in particular, but they probably not fall in the rural secondary, but these are what we're planning for this summer, this fall.
931 South.
31 is exactly.
931 north and south.
North and
931 South, Lead Hill. Oddly enough, we've got a program that we call preventative maintenance, which is not a full asphalt overlay. It's a thin lay or it's a polymer surface with a thin lay, and that is the Kings Creek side and the 931 side. The hill itself is too bad shape for that, so we're trying to get the money, because it's going to be leveled and paved the full-blown to bring it where it needs to be. So we're asking for money for that to see. It was close this past fall. We're still asking. So
What about the 931 north?
931 north. I know the hill's got some bad spots on top of the hill, especially on both sides, but it is not on the list for what we call the FTO5, which is the resurface this past fall, and we was not included. Not say it won't be longer this fall. And of course, bad spots, you can always get patch using our maintenance forces, pothole patching, grade patch, or whatever.
They need some pothole patching bad, right there at the mouth of Cane Hollow, he's a hole probably that big, probably a foot deep.
I know we fixed the break up there, and on the Fiscal City side, got a little washout there, it's constantly leak attention in there. So yeah, there's still lots of areas that we do need asphalt, and as the weather warms up now, plant's been open at Pike County Plant now where we get our asphalt. And it's been open for, what, 3 weeks now, I guess. And we get a monthly allotment for asphalt, and each month we'll belt patch, and hopefully each time we get an allotment, we'll use it up and go from there. So, yeah, 931 South, especially 931 North.
They're behind the bus garage.
317 up at Dean's horrible too.
317 it's not, I know there's one spot in particular that these cities do very fast that is still rough from the 22 flood.
Then the straightaway in front of Isaac Lumber, ain't nothing but potholes.
Okay, the potholes, I do know that they were out pothole patching in that area last week, I think it was. I'm not sure how far they got or where they got to. Like I said, we've got that long, and once it runs out, it's gone for the month, so. But, I'll,
If you could get them to note that big pothole at the mouth of Cane Hollow, it is bad.
okay,
I'm gonna say it's a foot deep.
okay. Yeah, that's the pop tires.
Yeah. I busted them on myself.
No, there's also a lot of questions about the US 119, which is one up Pine Mountain, and then of course from the high school light, which is 2034C, going over towards Mr. Flores. We're actually going to start milling base stoves on that next week and probably pave a week or two after, so within the month that will be paved. So, but
Good
that's
deal.
not what's separated, of course. That's-
Anything on 160 over towards Gordon, that area?
No. 160.
Yeah, I know they've done a lot of grilling and fixing places, and there's some pretty bad places over there.
I noticed the hill, looked like Purple Quarry, and then from Gordon up to, well, actually from 160 all the way up to 931, including Shepherd's Hill, pretty bad too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have some more, because of that flood, I've got more work there to do as well. That will be maintenance forces and greater patch. Right now, it's on the resource list.
What about the break-offs that we've got along state roads?
New brakes,
There's one on 1148 there.
1148.
Oh, yeah, bad.
That is,
It's a bad one.
that's when two flood, it's on the list, funding and set up for it. So, the one contractor, I'm hoping to get a second piece of equipment in, materialized, so we've got some of the roads that are actually out to bid, and, I'm not positive, but maybe one of them, but in case, yeah, as soon as the project gets back to Letcher County, if it's not out to bid, that road is mine. They got 3 or 4 spots to finish, 160, maybe 560, 160, from the south, from 15 to, probably 931 each area. After that, because of that one spot you mentioned, that's where I'm moving to next, so.
Okay.
About 1862, that is at Thornton Road,
As far as brakes, that's all, or
and undermining, and, I mean, there's a lot of different
I've got,
issues going on there.
yeah, I've got multiple spots, so 2 of them. One of them's pretty bad, and one's not as bad, but multiple spots where the shovel broke through there, and I've got multiple spots from 22 as well as some new spots from 25 to work on. And that's another one of our roads that they just haven't made it to yet. They have the one drill, one piece of equipment, they're working, but I've got one drill that's between Letcher counties, and I want to do one at a time. And it's taking so long, which is why some of them have to bid. The contractor possibly bring a second company in to help out. And with all of those, we're going to get another group sent out so that we can get these knocked out before we get into the meat of the 25 days. So.
One little break there on 1103, if you go in from the 7 side, been there for years. Do you remember that? A covered end's come off, and they've actually paved around that, but it's in a real dangerous place.
I know right there,
fixed one.
Gas substation.
You fixed that one.
Fixed, okay.
About 3/4 of a mile past that one, going on up 1103.
Worked on that bill,
I'm not
that big culvert.
certain on that. I can't visualize where that one is, but I have to take a look and see. Like, I can tell you if it's on the list.
I didn't know if it was one that was supposed to be fixed and got missed, or, cause it's been there for, well, it's been there since I've been in office for 6.5 years.
If it's that long, maybe it's something that just needs to be fixed via state funds and not getting our storm related.
I believe it's just a covered in that's come off. I believe they can fix it and no time.
Yeah, that's typical with those project
But it's in a real bad place, and the reason I know about Rick Terry last weekend, but
4-foot section, that's on 1103.
yeah,
7 side.
yeah.
I'll just check on that one, because if it's that long, chances are it's multiple spots where they cut concrete.
I didn't know if it, I know that,
Time, it falls off, and then it gets shorter and shorter through the.
I didn't know if it just got mixed when they fixed the one at the pump station or
It could
not.
possibly on the list or not, I just have to check and see. If
Okay.
it's not on the list, I'll just have to mention to the maintenance if we can get the crew out there. Be good to get it done before this fall, and the asphalt guys get out there, that way I can fix the asphalt too while they're at it, so.
931 is a bad break off at a huge culvert at Rhodey Lane. 931 North, out here on Pasadena. Rhodey Lane.
One north, County Road, and then, I actually looked at that with our section engineer,
Yeah,
a month ago or so.
okay.
And we're having to do some work with that, because, I guess that entire hole through there was just full of rock, they dug it out.
Yes.
On the bank.
Yes,
It needs cleaned up, it needs the, on the right-hand side going up, we'll put some rock baskets or something there, we gotta give us a little bit more shoulder, something needs to be done there on that, but yeah, we have looked at that one.
okay, thank you.
What about the one on 3408, right at the end of the state, going up the hill there?
3480, yeah, so I'm going up the hill with guardrails, going up the hill there, that is 22, and it's not one of those that I'd like to get them on all those spots, but yeah, it's.
Okay.
Yeah, because I looked at it a few weeks ago, looking at 25 damages, and I verified that it was on 22, it's already on the list, money's in the bucket, waiting to get fixed, so.
Any other questions, Ken? Do you need court action on this, Ken, or no?
No, I'll get the minutes of the meeting after, the next month or so.
Contracts with this one.
The road aid agreement is not part of yours, is it?
I'm sorry?
The county road aid agreement?
No.
Yeah, it's different.
My presentation is just for, little secondary, and then we'll answer any other questions that the maintenance needs that we have, so.
One more, I thought, like the Highway 588, from Blythe back
Okay.
towards Roxanne.
Asphalt?
It is terrible.
I come around the hill especially.
Yeah.
I went through there in the past 2 weeks, and I've looked at all that, trying to see what, maybe new damage over damage, and the state of the asphalt also. There's a lot of water going across the roads, I'm sure it's not helped. So some pipes need to be cleaned, etc. It does need some attention, and I know that they're kind of focusing on 588 and 160 because of the possible prison. But we'll have to get the maintenance things taken care of. As far as asphalt, I'm asking to look at it again this year. It's not on the list. Go ahead and look at it again. I know we got paid 2013, I believe it was, it got paid. But it doesn't attention to get it, maybe to the point where we need to pay again with the brakes and everything happens.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We thank you, sir.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Item 2 is our 2026 County Road Aid Agreement Resolution. Got that, Jamie?
Be resolved by the Letcher Fiscal Court, that the Fiscal Court has hereby accepted all roads and creeks referred to in said contract between the Park and County Road System, and the Fiscal Court is hereby ratifying and adopt all state instructions contained in the agreements contained in said contract. is hereby accepted said contract and authorized acceptance, agree to all terms and conditions therein stated. And the county judge executive of Letcher County is hereby authorized and directed to sign said contract as set forth on behalf of the fiscal court of Letcher County, Kentucky.
We have a motion on our county road aid.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Call the roll when you're ready, Angie.
Josh?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes,
Actually, that's a little bit like
it is, yep. Item 3, update from Small Business Administration, Ms. Elsie Hillman. Somebody here from Small Business?
Yes. Hi, how are you? Good morning.
We're good.
Happy Monday. Thank you so much for having us. We just wanted to remind everybody that the U.S. Small Business Administration is still here in Letcher County, over here at the Letcher Recreational Center. Just wanted to remind everybody, just to get those people in the door. Our deadline is coming up, April 25th. We are working on an extension, but right now what we have on paper is April 25th. So we just want to remind everybody, just get, in the door. There is no obligation to take the loan if you don't want to. It costs nothing to sign up. A lot of people, fear with loans, and I get it. It's understandable. But sometimes what helps is that, you just get the help in, you get that offer, and you don't have to take it. You could wait, but 3-4 months down the line, you might want that help, you might have those funds, and there's still a little bit for you. If you're a homeowner and business owner, there are fiscal damage loans for homeowners. It's up to $500,000. If you're a business owner, up to $2 million. If you're a renter, up to $100,000 for those physical damage for those personal property, including your motor vehicle. If you're a business owner and you lost income because of the floods, there's economic injury loans up to $2 million just to keep those bills running, and just keep doors open. So I just wanted to make sure everybody is still aware that the help is still there. We're still here. Hopefully, if we get an extension, we'll let you know. But we're making it available, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to go into DRCs. If you go to FEMA and, they might, if you get a denial letter, continue to appeal it. That's what we tell everybody. Stop by the business administration, customer service representative. They might be able to point you in another direction. Just get all the help that's there, because once this deadline is up, it will be really, really hard, to kind of just get those assistance. If you have any more questions, please call SBA at 1-800-659-2955. Again, that's 1-800-659-2955. I think we've dispersed about over $40,000 in Letcher County alone, but we do know that there's still a lot more we can do here. There's a lot more help we can provide.
So a SBA loan can be for individual or business.
That's correct.
And
Homeowners, renters, it's only for personal property up to $100,000. But homeowner, physical damages, roofing, And if you are approved as a homeowner or a business owner, you could also request, you have about 5 years to request 20% more for mitigation purposes, meaning, to prevent, further damages in upcoming storms, because we don't know when there might be next one. But you get 20% more for those mitigation projects.
and those loans are historically low interest.
Extremely. So
Extremely
for
low interest.
Businesses is as low as 2.7, and then for businesses are as low as like 5.6. So if you do have to go down the loan route, we definitely, advise you wholeheartedly to check with this case first.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Item 4, update from ER Assist. Mr. Brandon Betsworth.
projects to award. Project 735622. The low bid on that was rock for $18,088. Project 735634. Low bid was CNC for $2,978. Project 736474. Low bid was CNC for $22,314. Project 741949. Low bid was B-Rock for $3,844. Project 741512. Low bid was B-Rock for $23,019. Project 741516. Low bid was B-Rock for $13,347. Project 736481. Low bid was Great Hale for $58,454.
Any question on those bids or a motion to accept?
Why are we bidding cemetery roads and gravel?
On KYPC, the list of this coming
We got flood work 3 years behind in bidding cemetery roads. That's pathetic.
That is part of our county road system.
I'll make a motion to accept these low bids for road repair.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Call roll, Angie.
Chevy,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Kenny, Dale. Yes. Jones.
Yes.
Next, we got the Blackie Community Center. What we're looking at doing is purchasing the water treatment plant from the Letcher Water and Sewer District. Due to cost and procurement issues with restoring the community center, we've had to explore the options to build back the community center in Blackie. We've put out the community center for bid twice, and we've only received one proposal, and it was over double what FEMA was going to give us. So we found a way to get the community center back with a combination of grant funds. So the Water and Sewer District owns the water plant, and they currently have a loan on the property. The district will sell the property to the fiscal court for their loan payoff amount. And the current payoff amount is $267,699. But it accrues like $32 in interest a day. So the payoff amount will be slightly more than that, depending on how long it takes to get the property, the title search and all that. It does have some flood damage in the back from the flooding, the fencing and the embankment. But once those are obligated for the water district, the county will get the funds for that as well.
And Chetty and I met with the community down there and told them on the proposal, and the community is acceptable of that, and I think it's a good project for us to move forward. Anything to add to that, Chetty?
No, I just, it's been a while, and we've done a lot of work on the old community center trying to get it back. And everybody wanted it back, but at this point, we just feel like we can't do it.
What we'll end up doing with the old community center building is it'll be demolished, and in that area we'll put a picnic shelter, pavilion type thing there that will be more use for the public. So I think it'll make a good project.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion on buying the the dormant water district building as part of that project.
I make the motion.
Do we have a second?
A second.
First, if we're paid off.
For the payoff, yes, for the loan payoff. And that will help the water district out as well, you know, get them after that payment that they having to take care of monthly.
Will FEMA money be used to purchase that?
Pardon?
Will FEMA money be used to purchase that?
It'll be part of the project's,
That 400 and whatever that FEMA said
I think it's around 600,000.
Oh,
call the roll, Angie.
Deb? Yes. Chitty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Judge Adams?
Yes.
All right, and then also need to vote to put out procurement for demo of the existing community center.
We have a motion to procure the demo of the
And the
flooded.
And the equipment that's at the water plant still, tanks and stuff like that needs demoed as well.
Yeah.
So you need a motion for
Motion.
demo of the community center and clean out of
And
the,
whatever equipment the water
water plant?
district has at the plant still.
okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Call the roll, Angie.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Chitty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes.
It's just a shame they couldn't keep it. I know they wanted to, didn't they?
Yeah, and we looked at it, that's the way we
And
could.
then, one more vote to put out procurement for refurbishment of the water treatment plant to turn it into the community center.
Yeah. The rehab on
Yeah.
the water building to make it into the, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Deb? Yes. Chitty?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Anything else, Brenda?
We got some buyout updates for you. For FEMA, we have 72 purchased properties, 62 have been demoed, 2 are pending closing, 9 pending title, and 6 are still pending FEMA approval. 5 are on hold due to issues with title or unable to contact the owners. And 25 total have been withdrawn. For NRCS, there's been 47 purchased. 2 have been demoed so far. 15 are pending closing. 19 pending appraisal. 1 pending environmental review. 4 are pending survey work. 16 pending title work. 17 total have been withdrawn. And then there's some updates on some of the properties. The House of Prayer that's been demoed. There's a property on Daniel Branch that we sent the notice to proceed for asbestos survey on the 9th. And we should be getting that back any day now. And once that's back, it'll be a couple weeks until demo can begin on that. The last day to apply for the FEMA buyout program is April 30th. The DRC is currently accepting applications. However, in the event the DRC closes before April 30th, we will be collecting applications at the office.
Now say that again, what was it? You were going to collect them at the office?
If the DRC closes early,
Okay.
we'll still be accepting that
Okay.
at the office until the 30th.
Yeah, anybody wishing to apply, just come by my office and we'll
Okay.
get paperwork after then.
Okay, I've got one that wants to, so.
That's all I
Did you find that anything on the Yacht Sport code?
We're gonna replace that. We're gonna use the picture with the school to get approval. That should be good. I'll still have to add on, it's probably here next day or so.
Okay, what about the other culverts in the hollers? Because my work cycle's getting ready to come up next week.
I mean,
We
there's
got-
quite a few that,
Do we need to go ahead and do them, or y'all gonna do them, or what we gonna do with them?
I mean, we're gonna send everything we have to Adams to work.
Should be able to get started on that. Anything else? Thanks, Brandon.
Brandon, you gonna be in the office for a while today?
Item 5, update from Cran, Miss Lisa Napier.
Really don't have much to mention. I passed out or handed out all the updates. If y'all have any questions or need any assistance, just let us know.
Where we at on Cumberland River, do you know?
We are working on the environmental, trying to get everything submitted, so hopefully not long.
And they're working on both ends of it,
Yes.
of Cumberland River, the project from Flat Gap down.
Oh, okay.
And the project from Cumberland.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Yeah. So both of those have got some movement on it.
yes.
All righty, thank you. Any other questions, Lisa? Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
While we are here, let's get an update. I see Jeffrey back there. Let's get an update from Jeffrey Justice. High Mountain Partnership.
So, one thing I want to update everybody on, and DJ may be able to mention it in the treasury report, I'm not sure, but if not now, next month. But the airport project, there's a coal severance project last year. One piece of that property, we didn't get finished purchasing, and I didn't know that money closed out every year. So, we finally have an option to buy that property. We'll just have to move forward with reinstating that project. And I think we have 46,000 left in the budget, and we'll need 30. So it's come in 16% under budget from what we thought. So that's good. And then I've also got word from the FAA. We had a meeting a couple weeks ago that their funding was not affected. This project was not affected in any of the freezes or clawbacks or anything like that, so that's good. Should be able to get final word on starting the engineering and design in just a couple months or so. So that's good. It's been a 22-year-old project, I think.
So, yep.
So it's finally, we're getting there. It's finally, we can start seeing the light at the end of that tunnel, or the lights on that runway, whatever. But yeah, that's, and for anybody that doesn't know, it's going to be on the top of the hill at Stampers Branch. I know there was an article in the paper a few months back about it, and I was getting calls from residents of Stampers Branch. I do want those people to know that we will not be buying anybody out on there. It's not going to affect anybody. Nobody's going to have to move. After this piece of property is purchased, we'll have everything we need, and no people will be displaced. So I just wanted to make that abundantly clear to everybody that lives on Stampers Branch. There was one lady that was particularly worried about that, so I let her know that no houses are going to be displaced, and it's not going to be like jumbo jets with jet engines flying through, so it's not going to be disruptive like people would imagine an airport to be. So that's good. The next step after the engineering and design is we put together a kind of a consortium of federal partners to fund things like a terminal building and a hangar building. So that's all to come. Once it gets started, it'll be about 3 construction cycles to finish, so about 3 to 4 years. And the Herald with the SBA, tentatively, this isn't confirmed yet, they're going to send me a confirmation this afternoon, but we are looking at Thursday evening, partnering with the Small Business Administration, with the Pine Mountain Partnership, to have an evening event from 5:30 to 7 for any business owner. We're targeting business owners in this case. Their programs are applicable to residents too, but for this, we're pretty much targeting business owners. So if anyone is out of town or whatever this week, as the deadline approaches on Friday, they can come to the Ermine School from 5:30 to 7 o'clock, and we'll have some food and stuff for everybody, and trying to get other federal partners involved too, depending on the approvals that they can get, to come and kind of set up a mini DRC resource fair, so that everybody that wants to understand these programs completely will have an hour and a half to just sit down and explain it all. And we're trying to get some pro bono attorneys there to help with the application process on the side. Just as a last ditch effort, they are looking at getting an extension, but in case that doesn't happen, we want to make sure that everybody has a last ditch effort Thursday evening to get those applications in before Friday. And one more thing, there's the Small Business Administration. People think of small businesses under 500 employees. In this case, their disaster assistance, it doesn't matter. So if you have 1,000 employees, whatever the case may be, you can still qualify for this assistance.
So on the property, the co-severance project was already a project, but the time lapsed, is that right, DJ? So we just have to reapply.
Yeah, we've got another resolution that I had to pick that back up.
So we probably need a motion to purchase that property coming into Stampers Branch as part of the airport project.
I'll make that motion. Go ahead.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Deb? Yes. Chetty?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. And just so everybody knows, that the road going into the airport will be on that ridge that separates Stampers Branch and the river. You know, it's right at the end of that bridge there where Breeden's Plumbing Electric is. That road will take off up that point and go back to the airport.
Yeah, it goes up probably 200-300 yards before you ever get to the first house on the right.
Yeah. Anything else, Jeffrey?
I think it's done good for
Okay. All right, thanks. And I know we're kind of a little bit out of order, but during the updates, I like our rec center director speak now, Mr. Seth Otterson. Then we'll get back into the regular schedule.
Hello, I'm Seth Otterson. I'm the new director of the rec center. I've been told that some people would just like some updates on things that are going on or maybe underway. So I'm just gonna tell you a few things that we've been working on. Some things that are coming up. First off, we ramped up concessions. We've added a lot of things, which has, we've pretty, I've only been there for about 2 months, so I can't give you a ton of numbers. I'll give you what I do have, but we've ramped up concessions. We've introduced loaded tees, which I think everybody in the community has started doing. We hosted rec basketball. We had an event called Kids Day, where we partnered with 2 other local businesses, and we had over 100 kids show up. We had new improvements ordered for the kids' play area. We currently, we're housing FEMA, obviously, that's really resulted in increased sales as far as concessions, things like that. We've scheduled a gun show for late October. We had new equipment in place, and we've got more ordered for the gym part of the rec center. Construction on the way to redo the rock climbing room. We've also had discussions with other businesses about possibilities for the old bowling alley once FEMA's out of there. We're set to host rec volleyball this summer, and we've gotten a number of local businesses to pay their sponsorship fees, those signs above the track. Some of these hadn't been paid, and I know Charissa, when my assistant went to get the check, they said the last time they had paid that was about 11 years ago. So just kind of catching up on a lot of things. Those sponsorships come, they're $1,000 a year, so just to give you an idea. Again, I haven't been there a very long time, but I can tell you that just my vending sales have increased 20% in the first month, 30% in the second. Overall revenue is up about $12,000 a month on average since January. I came on in January.
It's great.
That's great.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I don't live in Letcher County, but that hasn't always been the case. I lived there in 2022. I lived in Macon during the last flood. I'm really deep into this community. I love that building, the staff. I've been going there for a lot of years. I've done business there. It's a privilege to have the position, and I'm always happy to talk to anybody about anything rec center related. You're welcome to stop by. I can give you my information whenever you need. So.
I ran into some folks from Pound, Virginia, and they come over here almost every day or at least 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And they really love this place. They come to walk, they get involved with other folks, meet people. It's really, they enjoy it.
Place, and really, the way things are going, some of the ideas that I'm hoping to introduce, I think it could be a big opportunity, not just for the area, or not just for the building, but for the area. We have a lot of things in mind. It's just a matter of taking those little steps and growing it methodically. But I think, personally, I think we're off to a great start. And I look forward to trying to do my best anyway, make the most out of that, the building and the position. So again, if anybody ever needs me, feel free to reach out. No problem.
We appreciate what you're doing.
We sure do
you
appreciate
coming and giving us that today.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
That it's growing.
Seems to be right.
The rec center is picking up some steam and getting a better bottom line for us, and providing a service to the community. And Seth, we appreciate everything that you've done
I appreciate
in
the
that effort.
opportunity.
Seems like he's been working hard.
Yes, like Kenny said, we appreciate you coming and telling us what's going on. We don't know.
Like I said, I wish I could give you more numbers. I just don't. I haven't been there that long. I can't give you my overall member count, but I can say, like, we have a wellness program set up for the children's. I know that their members have gone up. It probably doesn't hurt that they've moved right next door. But it's just a lot of little things. They're starting to add up, and I think we can carry that over into some bigger things. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're in talks with Unite right now about a possible grant. I don't know the update. That's very recent, like last week, on possible changes for the bowling alley and something new for the community that I think would be good for the youth in the area and would bring a lot of revenue. The rock wall is another one. So again, it's just little steps. I think, like I said, I think it's off to a great start, but more to come. So I appreciate you guys, and again, if you need me, don't hesitate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get back on schedule there. Item 6, Sheriff Jones talking about some surplus vehicles.
Actually, last month, you guys approved the sale of 2 of them. We're just here today to ask for that money back that we turned in. It's $5,500.
Okay.
And also, I'll make a comment as well on the rec center. My wife and I drove by the other day, and she made the comment that it appears that it's constantly full now. So it is, business has definitely picked up. And also wanted to tell you guys that, you know, we got a very generous donation from BP Double Quick. They purchased our Kid ID machine for us that we're getting set up, that we're going to bring back to the community. It's very popular under Sheriff Webb, and we're going to bring that back. And also NCHC has made a donation to help us get set up to where we can set up at festivals with tables and tents and so forth. So a very important program we're bringing back to the community as well.
That's great. And on the surplus vehicles, you just need a motion to
Just
retain
get our money on those, on that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Call the roll, Angie.
Chitty,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Judge Adams.
Yes.
Thank you all.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Item 7, the jail commissary report. Mr. Brian Sloan. Welcome.
How's everybody doing today?
All right, how you?
Feel pretty good. The date at the top is wrong. It's 31. It starts off with commissary for $55,299.30. We had deposits of $15,411.26. The deposit of the HB 556 deal was $64. And we had some return checks for $1,813.35 that come out to a total of $17,288.61. You add that up and it come up to $72,587.91. Then you go down to your expenditure. Inventory was $7,062.63. Paying the med tech is $1,875 to make up the medication. Entertainment expense was $255.72. Inmate state payroll, which is paid to work police supervisors, it come out to be $1,674.59. We pay half and pay run a commissary to one of our deputies, which is $775.94. We pay half pay on transport for doctor visits and stuff is $1,594.73. Then the fees and co-pays is $1,843.12, which totals $15,071.73, which leaves the commissary account at $57,516.32. I got in touch with my jail inspector. I'm looking into trying to maybe, I don't know what it would take if we'd be able to, but I'd like to try to start housing better with. We get like $34, $35 a day on the state. They'll pay up to $60 to $80 a day for a veteran to be housed in the jail. I don't know what it'll take. We're still listening on it. But if it's possible, we'll try to do it.
That sounds good.
That's good.
Any question on the commissary report?
How many you holding now, Brian?
They were right, 60.
Bad.
Number we used to hear.
Every week we're taking state inmates away from us. We've had to take, in the past 2 weeks, back-to-back weeks, we've had to take about 5 or 6 to the prison. And that kind of put a hurt on us. I can't do nothing about it. I got the programs, they can't take the inmates that's in programs. They don't have to do that, so maybe that'll help us. I got several inmates in the programs.
We do appreciate the work release program.
Yes, we do.
We sure do.
It's made a difference in the county, and
I wish I had a bigger one, to be honest with you. I got so much work, you know, it's coming summer, grass cutting, a lot of that, you know. I have more inmates. I'd love to have more out there, taking care of everybody possible, but if y'all ask Jeff to do anything, we'll try our best to get to whoever it is, you know. He does pretty good about that, I think.
and just about everybody that's eligible to be out on work release is,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. I have 1 or 2 inside the jail as trustees. but, most we take out, well, we'll take out 4 to 5 of the men, and I got females too, out there too, when I put stuff too, so.
That sure makes a difference.
It does.
Yes, sir.
It does. I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
They work very hard. That's it.
Anything else? We appreciate you.
Thank you, Brian.
Move on to item 8, signage honoring our veterans. You got that, Jamie?
Whereas citizens of Letcher County have contributed their time in the United States military to defend our nation's freedom. And whereas Letcher County wishes to express their gratitude by honoring veterans, and whereas Letcher County wishes to take the appropriate action that certain relevant property named in honor of said veterans. Now therefore be it resolved that all appropriate action be taken, that the bridge at Laurel Fork at Jenkins, Kentucky be named in honor of Donald Lee Wright, U.S. Navy. Now therefore be it resolved that all appropriate action be taken, the following listed on the Veterans Board on Main Street in Gordon, Kentucky, John Wesley Brown Jr., U.S. Army. Now therefore be it resolved that all appropriate action be taken, the following listed on the Board on Main Street in Blackton, Kentucky, James B. Sexton, Sergeant World War II, U.S. Army. Now therefore be resolved that all appropriate action be taken, the following name listed on the Veterans Board on Main Street, Blackton, Kentucky, Rodney Lee Sexton, Sergeant, U.S. Army. And now therefore be resolved that all appropriate action be taken that the Mount Bass Branch on Highway 7 South in Jeremiah, Kentucky, be named in honor of Keith Wright, machinist mate, CPO, OIF, OEF, U.S. Navy.
I make a motion, we accept the resolution. I'll second that.
Call the roll, Angie.
Deb? Yes. Chetty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 9, Library Board's got a position open for a board member. I recommend we put Brad Shepherd on that board to serve as it rotates out.
You need a motion or second?
A motion.
Make a motion, we put Brad Shepherd on the library board.
I'll second it.
Call the roll, Angie.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Chetty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 10, approve resolutions for Fahy. They're doing their housing, flood housing work, and they need these resolutions passed by the court to implement their project. You got those, Jamie?
3 on
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. How you want to do it, works.
Whereas Letcher County has entered a plain entering agreement with the Kentucky Department for Local Government to implement the Letcher County, Kentucky Single Family Development Project under the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program. Now therefore be resolved that as required by 650 DR grant agreement, Letcher County will permit to make up cost overruns should the project not be completed within the anticipated budget. Any cost overruns will be the final responsibility of Letcher County. Whereas the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended requires Letcher County to replace all occupied and vacant, occupiable, low moderate income dwelling units, demolished or converted to use other than as low moderate income housing, or demolition or conversion is the directors of activities issued with Community Development Block Grant and or Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery plan. Whereas Letcher County has applied for and received or plan to receive CDBG-DR funding to provide housing opportunities in the county. Now therefore be it certified by Letcher County, Kentucky, that the proposed community development block grant projects will consist of voluntary acquisition of property and activities related to the construction of residential housing units that may involve the displacement of low and moderate income persons. to be consistent with the goals and objectives of activities assisted under Section 114 of the Housing and Community Development Act 1974 as amended. Letcher County will take the following steps to minimize displacement of persons from their homes as a direct result of the project. Consistent with the goals and objectives of activities assisted under the Act, Letcher County will take the following steps. All relocations will be managed in accordance with the Uniform Acquisition and Relocation Act. To minimize the negative effect for displacement, Letcher County will provide information assistance and counseling to all displacees. Letcher County hereby requires that reasonable benefits will be provided to anyone involuntarily and or permanently displaced due to the use of community development funds required from us for rehabilitated property. More related to the annual budget amendment thereof, whereas Letcher County Fiscal Court has received unanticipated revenue from the Kentucky Department for Local Government. It is hereby ordered by the county that the annual budget for the fiscal year is amended to increase receipts of the CDBG-DR fund by $17,529,000 to include unanticipated revenues from the Department for Local Government Office of Federal Grants, increase the budget expenditures by account number 12 single-family housing construction, $16,653,000, and 15 admin, $876,000. Let it be known to all persons in Letcher County, Kentucky that discriminating in sale, rental, leasing, financing of housing or land to be used for construction of housing or in the provision of brokerage services because of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin is prohibited by Title 8 of the 1968 Civil Rights Act. Be it resolved that within available resources, the county will assist all persons who feel they have been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, disability, or familial status and seek equity under federal and state laws by filing a claim with the U.S. Department for Housing, Urban Development, Office of Fair Housing, and Equal Opportunity Compliance Division. Be it further resolved that the county shall publicize this resolution and through this publicity shall encourage owners of real estate, developers, and builders to become aware of their respective responsibilities and rights under the federal fair housing law amendments and any applicable state and local laws or ordinance. This is lastly a resolution regarding Letcher County Fiscal Court use of red budget and expenditures for CDBG and CDBG-DR programs. Whereas Letcher County Fiscal Court, Kentucky, applied for and received or plans to receive Community Development Block Grant and or Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery funding to provide housing opportunities in Letcher County. Now therefore be resolved by Letcher County Fiscal Court, any rental payments and fees and all revenues and expenditures of funds under CDBG and CDBG-DR program will be used in accordance with program income and miscellaneous receipts regulations promulgated by CFR 570.489E14.
Anybody got any questions on those resolutions? Or a motion to approve the 5 of them? One was cost overruns, the next one was anti-displacement and the budget ordinance, the fair housing, and revenues and expenditures.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Gajah?
Yes. Item 11, approve the First Frontier Appalachian Trails Interlocal Agreement. You got that, Jamie?
Well, it's essentially a contract. I think we've worked with First Frontier Appalachian Trails. We did on some of our trails. They're doing a lot of things in the region, promoting ATV trails. We wanted to kind of, in another agreement, they made on Leslie County or Martin County. They identified specific projects that they would cooperate on and put the terms. I just put together a basic agreement that says that we will work together and we'll cooperate. And as we identify projects we want to work on, then we'll put that in writing and in addition to this. This just kind of gives them the right to be on any of our ATV trails and properties, as well as us to have the right to use them. So, pretty simple agreement, basically cooperation agreement.
You want to read that, Jamie, or
I don't think I'd read the whole contract, it's just the agreement.
just the agreement? You got anything to add to that, Tim?
No, just wanted you all to understand that, under our blanket there with this, that trail at Fish Pond and any other trails that we mark as a part of our trail system, whether it be some county roads or private properties that we work with, they'll be under our $9 million liability policy and covered in their patrol by Fish and Game. We keep them up the best we can with the people that we have now, but we've got grants coming to buy equipment, keep the trails up. We also have just numerous different markers that we can put up, and we're co-sponsored with Onyx Off-Road that provides signage.
You want to introduce yourself there? I kind of got ahead of myself there, but
I'm Kim Whitehead, trail coordinator for First Frontier Appalachian Trails. We are funded by the legislature through tourism, and it's the state putting together trail systems right now. We have 18 counties that we're working on. I'm in a different one every day. But there's 3 of us that's trail coordinators, and we have our executive director, Scott Smith. We're basically put our trail system together with Tyler and Spearhead in Virginia and Hatfield and McCoy in West Virginia. Our objective is to tie those together as well as every community that we can get that wants to work with us so we can bring, a lot of people don't want to hear this, the side-by-sides into their towns, to their motels, to their Airbnbs, to their gas stations, to their food, anything that they'll turn to, just to promote, trying to offset loss of revenue, from the coal industry. And Merle knows this from me, from the oil gas industry that's gone to, and now the logging is going down. They're just, the state's trying to do something to offset some of those funds. And that's one thing that they've done. Hatfield and McCoy in West Virginia, I don't know if y'all have been there or know anything about it, but they brought in $42 million the year before last just from their trail system.
wow.
And that's 3 counties that's in. And there's no reason that we can't do the same thing here. And I know we have a lot of private parks. You all have the one Leavenworth off-road park. But we're looking at one right now in northern Kentucky that we may end up taking over because they can't afford the insurance and all the upkeep that comes along with that. Plus, they don't have Fish and Game patrolling trails to try and keep people in check. So that's one thing that we can do.
Does the Spearhead Trail start in Dixon County? Is it up there?
It is, some of it is.
Okay.
They have scattered trails, it's not all connected.
Okay.
Go to one in one county and then go to another.
Gotcha.
Hatfield is different altogether. They're all tied together. And we're starting to do ours that way. We just got the 150 miles that we got in Martin County tied in to Johnson County. And they wanted it to come to their lake up there. Because it's got a campground. That's what we're trying to do. Every campground, every trailhead that we can get to right now is what we're trying to do. Same thing in Jackson County was that last week, the markers.
And Tim and his crew have been on our trail up at Fish Pond.
Yes.
And this, it's First Frontier Appalachian Trails, but it started out as being the 9 counties in the
KMRRA, it's the Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreation Authority.
So
it's our governing body.
Yeah, it's just kind of renamed.
Right.
Is this?
They put First Frontier together as part of as their company.
Yeah.
But KMRA is still who we operate under through.
Operate under that authority from the state. Yeah. So that, and as part of this interlocal agreement, you all advertise for us through the, it's going to get us more exposure to Fish Pond and the Goose Creek property when we get it developed. And
I was thinking
Goose Creek is going on here in your county too, that Missing Children's Group is, working on. We're working with them too, to try to get those trails connected to her stuff that she's working on. And, but any business, any private property here that's got something that's got a way for us to get to, whether it be county road or state road now, that we'll be able to use House Bill 63.
Yep.
That's how you guys got a plan to opt into that. soon?
We do, yep, actually today.
All right, awesome.
But we appreciate the efforts of your group and what you've already done in Letcher County to further our ATV trails. We have a motion on that interlocal agreement with First Frontier Appalachian Trails.
I'd like a motion. Yes, sir.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. And item 12, approved resolution of Letcher County Fiscal Court authorizing the operation of street legal special purpose vehicles. Got that, Jamie?
Yes. Now therefore be resolved by the Fiscal Court of Letcher County, Kentucky. The operation of street legal special purpose vehicles is hereby authorized on public roadways within Letcher County, subject to conditions set forth in Senate Bill 63 and any additional regulations established by this resolution. For the purpose of the resolution, street legal special purpose vehicles shall have the same meaning as defined in Senate Bill 63, Kentucky's Senate Legislative Research Commission. Operators of these street legal special purpose vehicles must comply with the following conditions. Vehicles must be equipped with all safety features required by Senate Bill 63, including but not limited to headlights, brake lights, mirrors, turn signals, windshield, or driver eye protection, roll bars, seat belts, and appropriate tires. Vehicles must be registered, insured, and pass the necessary inspection as mandated by Senate Bill 63. Operation is permitted only on roadways with center line markings for trips not exceeding 20 miles. Operation on interstates and major highways are prohibited. The Letcher County Fiscal Court reserves the right to impose additional regulations or restriction on the operation of street legal special purpose vehicles as deemed necessary to protect the public safety and welfare. This resolution shall take place immediately upon its adoption.
Any questions or comments on that resolution? And with that Senate Bill 63 is a statewide bill, but each county has to opt in to be a part of that. And that will allow the side-by-sides that are legally equipped for the roads to be tagged and insured. So it'll be doing the same that they're doing currently, but they'll have some insurance on them and some protection and better safety equipment with the mirrors and the
Signal lights.
and all.
Lights, yeah.
Would you have anything to add to that, Tim?
I just want to say, with that, when you have those people coming into town where you're going to legally let them ride, they are a vehicle. So your local police, your state police, instead of just letting them go, they're doing something they shouldn't be doing with their loud music, that at night or drinking or whatever, because, it seems like when they get in, they pop cans. So, if they're doing that on the highway, they just need to be made an example of. We've done that in Martin County on their trail system. We've not had many, and it's been locals, of course. Not people like we had here last week that was from Utah. And those 20 days, they're all the way from Utah, right? We want those people to come here, spend their money. So they stay a week, so that's what we're trying to make happen. Just get those out-of-town people with out-of-town dollars to come to their local.
And those folks that come in from out of town, they're not looking to disrupt anything. They're just looking to enjoy our mountains. And
they actually do it for vacation.
And with this Senate Bill 63 there, that allows them to ride up to 20 miles on the highway to get from trail to trail. And what that's going to do, that's going to open up a lot of our riding in the county that these folks like from Utah or Georgia or Alabama. They'll come in with 10 or 15 vehicles, and they will come into Letcher County when we get our trailhead set up, and they'll be able to ride and
make their way into Knott County or Harlan or the Leatherwood Trails, either one, and, you know, that brings us tourism dollars.
It's amazing how much it brings in, these people coming in.
And you can just see that if you're in, going to Harlan anytime on the weekend, over there at their Putney Trailhead. I rode over there several times, and the campground's always full. The cabins are always full, and it's folks, what I encounter, people from Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee coming up, and they spend a lot of money when they come.
Mm-hmm. You know, they're actually going over there now and parking, camping over there. Could you stand up? They're sick of riding Black Mountain, so they're coming across Layton Trail past Rebel Rock and going down Big Laurel and going over to Leatherwood and buying their passes over there. So we can get something over here, even though it's going to be like 20 miles or something around Fish Pond for now. You know, we can get that opened up for you to come check that out. I think it's a little bit unique, you know, compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
Because you've got the two trails, one above the other, and we're thinking that we need to mark that till they're one way because they're so narrow. You know, I mean, there's places out there like that tree that we ran into that we had to cut off first time we went out. Claude Little and I had to back out of there about half a mile before we could turn. I think it would make it a safety feature if they had it one way, like going in one way and then go up to the top and come in on that trail and come back off instead. But
We may have to explore that too.
I was coming from Lexington yesterday. Coming up 64 would be like 7, 8, 10 cars, and I got them four-wheelers on.
Right.
So they've been down here the whole weekend somewhere riding. Some of them have 2 four-wheelers on. Yeah.
There's places like down in Big Laurel, I don't know if y'all know where that's at, but, you know, it's the other side of Leatherwood Mountain. It's in Harlan County, but there's a store down there called Turner's Grocery, and there's people are coming there and parking, and they're riding what we call outlaw trails, just some of the state highway and county road on the private property. You know, that people have been riding for years, we've all done it. But, I don't know where they're even coming from. You see a lot of them. That's not very far from actually, it's really close to Crown Settlement School, like 3 miles or so. But
Those folks buy gas and groceries and
that whole store.
side-by-side parts occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all looking for somewhere to stay. And they love
That's right.
Especially if it's an old house or an old cabin or even a storage shed that's been fixed into something. They like that better than a motel room or a house.
We have a motion on authorizing operation of street legal special purpose vehicles in Letcher County.
I'll make a motion.
I see.
Any other comments? Call roll, Angie.
Chetty,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
Deb. Yes. Adams.
Yes. And I think that's a good move for economic development in Letcher County.
Yeah.
Item 13, discuss the speed limit on Ingram Creek. Chetty?
I just had some folks reach out to me about the speed limit over there, and I just like to make a motion that we look into set the speed limit on Ingram Creek Road.
And that's reducing it from the current countywide.
Yeah. From the current 25 miles. Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I'll say.
What was your motion back or Chetty, I'm sorry.
To make a motion to reset the speed limit on Ingram Creek Road less than what the countywide speed limit or county road is.
What is county, 25?
25. And that will be directing our surveyor to go and do a survey of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we done Flintfield, I don't know why we didn't do Ingram Creek when we was at it.
Yeah, I've got some need to be lower than 25, yeah.
But when you get to driving at 25, if they obey the 25, it's not
fast.
It's not fast.
Really not fast.
No.
If you drop that down to say 15 on a long road,
That is tough.
it does create more problems too.
Yeah.
If the people traveling those roads would obey what all of our county roads are at 25 mile an hour, we wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Call roll, Angie.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 14, approve CDBG DR award. We are awarded $17,529,000 to work on our housing projects. We just need a motion to proceed with spending that money. Would there be anything you need to read on that, Jamie?
No, it's just another contract that we
So the motion will be to give me the authority to sign for that $17,529,000.
Judge Adams, would you care to explain what that is for?
That is for the purchase of the property in the smaller high ground part developments, and to build, start building homes on those.
It's like these elevated homes that we're building now, right? Same thing?
Just like some Thompson Branch.
Yeah. Yeah.
These 3 other locations.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Call roll, Angie.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 15, approve the interlocal agreement between Letcher County Fiscal Court and the City of Whitesburg. That was a grant that the city got for the Daniel Boone Hotel. That money will come through the fiscal court, so we have to have a interlocal agreement with the City of Whitesburg to disperse those funds whenever they're ready for them. You want to read that, Jamie?
It's another contract interlocal agreement, so we're just essentially passed through it. They're on the project, we're receiving the funds, and
So we're just agreeing to pass the funds to them?
Yes. And the amount of those funds is $3 million.
I didn't, that's what I was wondering, I didn't see it. Somebody overlooked it. There it is, okay. I make a motion that we go into interlocal agreement with the fiscal court, the City of Whitesburg, relating to the Daniel Boone Hotel renovation project.
I'll
Yeah.
second it.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. And that was House Bill 1 funds that was earmarked for the City of Whitesburg. And we'll have to do the same for the City of Neon. They got some funds that pass through the county as well. We're just not ready to do that one yet. Item 16, the new hires. Got Amanda Holdorf, Carter Howard, and Scott Pomranging. And Amanda's in the jail, Carter's in the rec center, and Scott's on the sanitation CDL. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the new hire.
I'll second.
Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Teddy?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 17, House Bill 6, co-severance projects, resolution, DJ.
This is to get those projects back under contract again for $50,000 for repairs on the courthouse and $100,000 for the airport board. Now therefore be it resolved on this 21st day of April 2025 by the Letcher County Fiscal Court, the House Bill 6 Cost Severance Project Proposal Application on behalf of the county for LGEDF monies up to $50,000 for the Letcher County Courthouse improvements, maintenance, repairs, and $100,000 for the Letcher County Airport Board. Project shall be submitted to DLG. County shall provide such additional information and furnish such documentation as may be required, and the county judge executive shall act as the authorized correspondent for this project.
Any questions or motion on House Bill 6 funds?
I'll make a motion on House Bill 6.
I second.
Call roll, Angie.
Teddy?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Deb? Yes. JoJo?
Yes. Item 18, Treasurer's Report.
This is the treasurer's report for the month of March 2025. General fund beginning balance $244,289.84. Revenue received $448,558.71. Dispersed $340,923.47. Ending cash balance is $351,925.08. Road and Bridge beginning balance $10,845,810.84. Revenue received $174,463.14. Dispersed $560,287.85. Transferred out $1,022,096.56. Ending cash balance is $9,437,889.57. The jail fund beginning balance $81,996.23. Revenue received $29,575.63. Transferred in $100,000. Dispersed $135,003.06. Ending cash balance is $76,568.80. LGBA fund beginning balance $90,587.24. Revenue received $15,109.43. Dispersed $101,878.36. Ending cash balance is $38,18.31. Forestry fund beginning and ending balance $6,660.20 with no revenue and no disbursements. The Forestry CD is still valued at $40,000. The ARPA fund beginning balance $498,985.58. Revenue received $60.87. Dispersed $1,602.71. Transferred out $100,000. Ending balance is $397,443.74. Police Memorial Fund beginning and ending balance $2,605. No revenue and no disbursements. The Tourism Art Van Bates Fund beginning and ending balance $73,8075 with no revenue and no disbursements. Marlow Water beginning and ending balance $11.28 with no revenue and no disbursements. The flood loan account beginning balance $32,597.24. Revenue received $6.93. Dispersed $65.96.50. Ending cash balance is $26,007.67. The county court clerk storage fees beginning balance $27,731.13. Revenue received $11.96. No disbursements. Ending cash balance is $28,927.10. The disaster fund beginning balance $12,213.81. Revenue received $2.60. No disbursements. Ending cash balance is $12,216.41. Former City of Blackford Fund beginning balance $53,582.45. Revenue received $11.38. No disbursements. Ending cash balance is $53,593.83. The EPA Safe Fund beginning balance $4,813,55.20. Revenue received $230.71. Dispersed $10,951.22. Any cash balance is $1,802,334.69. The local assistance and tribal consistency fund beginning balance $100,220.71. Revenue received $12.77. No disbursements. Any cash balance is $100,000 to $33.48. The opioid fund beginning balance is $146,510.93. Revenue received $56.89. No disbursements. Any cash balance is $446,567.82. The 4663 buyout fund beginning balance $473,343.07. Revenue received $1,121,746. Dispersed $1,069,438.77. Any cash balance is $525,650.30. The grant account, this is the account that already has the city of Whitesburg money in it. Beginning, we got that last month, beginning balance is $3,295,089. Revenue received, and this is Neon's money, $945,000 for them, so $945 for $55.82. Transferred in $1,022,096.56. That came from the road department. And so the no disbursement, so the ending cash balance is $4,967,848.08. The ABC account has a balance of $0. The next page is a recap of your bank balances. We're not holding any money in the LGA fund for special projects. And then you have your sanitation, rec center, and tourism reports.
Does that transfer out of that $100,000 out of the ARPA funds? Is that going to jail?
That would be jail.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting ready to have to take another $100,000 from the jail.
Any questions on the treasurer's report? There it is. Move on to the transfers. I was ahead of it.
We're gonna have to take another $100,000 out of ARPA and put it in jail. So $100,000 from ARPA fund to the jail fund.
And that's the only transfer we got.
Yes.
Have a motion on the transfer.
I'll make a motion for the transfers.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Deb?
Yes.
Teddy? Oh, black Jack.
Yes, sorry.
No, it's okay. Jack?
Yes.
Kenny? Judge Adams?
Yes. Item 20, the submit bills for payment. Anybody got any questions on the register? Reason not to pay one.
$7.17 and $4.68. I wonder if this $4 one is road money. No, let's still communication. Well, you got these inside this.
Question on the bills? Move into public comment. First one on the list, Mr. David Wayne. Welcome, Dave.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
I just want to throw out a few things. Earlier, I didn't get to comment about the road projects with pavement resurfacing. Yeah, I didn't hear 3406 mentioned. I wanted to throw that out there because it's been damaged twice with the floods, 2022 and then now 24. And we got 2 sections on 3406 that needs some repair. They're about 25 to 30 foot long, and the width of the road, and we've lost like 2 or 3 inches of pavement. It's been just kind of pulled away with the water, and then the county's scraper came through, and to get the mud and debris and rock off, of course it did, a little more damage. But I just wanted to throw those on there in case we can get anything set up this year for it to see if we can do it. But one section's right before the little bridge when you turn in on 3406, and then the other section's on the other side of the bridge.
Okay. I'll mention that to Ken there.
All right. Secondly, I just want to thank the county road department for coming out and fixing the gravel part of Bilby Drive. They came out, scraped it, put down some gravel, made it accessible through there. Appreciate that and everything. Lastly, I don't know how to go about this, but FEMA, I don't know how it works because I'm not in the county government. I see them walking up and down the road. I had 7 of them at my house today, walking up and down my road. This is the 3rd time they've been out through there. I see them all the time, but little action. I don't know how this works with FEMA and the subcontractors and all this kind of stuff. I think you and Benny had been out to Bilbia and seen all the trees and everything landing. Well, one of the subcontractors came out about 2 weeks ago and worked 2 days on one section right there when you first turn in where the water was coming out on the road where it was blocked in the creek, and there was a bunch of trees there. So they commenced to working, and they loaded up their truck a few times. I don't know how good these fellows were. I think it's the first time they've ever done a job because they made a bloody mess. They hauled some stuff out, managed to get the water back in the creek. But they left other trees that were there laying in the creek still. And some of them they pulled off the bank and just put around and swung around with their excavator and set them over here on the other side of the road, piling up stuff there. And they pulled culverts up out of the creek and stacked them up on the side of the road, like, where are they going? And then they just left. They left a mess in the road. I'm fixing to have to take my tractor down there and scrape the road to get the mud and rocks and debris out of the road.
They're getting ready to come up there and finish that.
Okay. There were 7 I saw when I was sitting in here earlier. There was about 7. I think they were FEMA people. They had the little jackets on. They were walking up and down Laurel Fork and Bilbia because I saw 4 of them go by my house. And so I don't know how the plan is, but I wanted to ask, how does it work when we do projects with these subcontractors? Are they going through FEMA or are they going through the county?
The culvert projects are with DRC is doing the contract and Thompson monitoring their work. But that's an effort to clean the county culverts, the debris over, in, or around those. And they're only allowed in that footprint of the culvert.
Okay, I guess where I'm a layperson, I don't understand how it all's supposed to work, but to me, it seemed like it would be better when I'm sure they have to bid for the jobs, correct?
It's what we're using there is a state contract. The state has already bid out to those contractors, and they are using local guys to do that work.
Okay, well, those guys that came out and did that were not good. But anyway, I just didn't understand how the whole process worked, because it seems to me that when you get somebody coming up in an area, I mean, like say, when you're wanting to clean after the floods and all this, put in a bid for like, say, okay guys, I need a bid for Laurel Fork and all the secondary roads off of Laurel Fork, give me a bid for that. And then you go in and do the whole job, versus this guy comes in and does this job, and another guy comes in and does another job, and another guy comes in and does another job. That just seems like redundancy to me, and a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Exactly.
It does.
And we've got enough of that anyway. And then this goes on, and then some of these guys need to be vetted on if they can do the job at all anyway, because some of them don't act like they know what they're doing. I did better with my little tractor and my chainsaw than they did with an excavator and a truck. But anyway, that's my complaint for the day. So anyway, but on the county end, those guys did a good job, and I appreciate that. Plus, those guys with the subcontractors, they came up on some of my property and tore up some of my yard and left. But anyway, frustrating. One question I did have when you were going over that CDBG-DR award, what did you say that was for?
It's for flood victims' housing.
Housing.
Yep.
So it was like 17 plus million?
Yep.
What happens to the rest of that if it's not used for that project?
It all be used plus more.
It won't be enough.
It won't be enough to do the project.
Really? That much? Okay. All right. I didn't know. I was just kind of wondering about that. So, all right. Well, thanks for everything you guys are doing. I appreciate it. I just want to come out and mention a few things and all that. And that's all I had.
Thanks for coming up. Next on the list, Chris Sloan. Chris, you.
Good morning, everyone. I have a documents for everyone who wants to read those. I'm not going to go over the entire thing, just get some highlights on what's going on. The situation between Chestnut Drive and Perk Creek, both being Letcher County roads, according to the State Department. Okay. This intersection is being encroached upon. Last time I was here, I felt like I was dismissed because of logging. I understand that. It's a constant thing that has to be maintained, and they did that. There's currently no logging in the area. The reason I'm here is not because of the culvert that has been constantly cleaned out, but the encroachment on the curb, the fill material, everything that's coming on both Perk Creek and Chestnut Drive. There's pictures there. It's going to the point that it's beyond erosion. It's becoming fill materials such as bricks, things to stop cars. I recently bought a mini excavator that had to be trimmed the entire length of the holler that I live on, quarter of a mile, because they couldn't take a curve. I got an 18-foot pontoon and an F-350 that I can't get out of the holler. That was brought into the holler. There's 4 trailers in that holler. They can't be gotten out. One can't be gotten in. 18 feet. There's a tree standing there which can't be cut because it's a land marker. I mean, all these things are happening. I can't force a right-of-way on government property. The state sees this road as government property. If it is a county road, action needs to be taken on a person who is obstructing flow of traffic, vandalizing government property, and if he's doing it for some kind of reason, it's vigilantism. He's not got approval. If someone is giving him approval, we need to know. Very, very frustrated with this. I've outlined multiple things. I've not been getting responses. I've outlined an expensive renovation. I understand that. But if it costs $10,000 every time they have to come up there to clean out a culvert, you know, that happens every big rain. Because we can't swing it, because the county has tried to give both sides what they need. They've installed longer culverts, but this is a 200-foot section. That's all it is. This road is a quarter of a mile. 600 feet, which is taken care of by the county, and 200 feet of it is all that's in property. My parents are 70 years old. Everything but this small area has been taken care of by them. We only request grading and gravel. And when that happens, now they're not able to do it. Not even the road department can get a grader onto a county road. I wish Mr. Mullins was here because they said that they will go talk to him. No resolution. I mean, this man is pushing, not us around, because I can't do anything about it. He's pushing the county around. He's pushing you all around. He's pushing everybody around. Go on Perk Creek and ask anybody about the water flow and the rocks coming out in the middle of the road. Because people go around that curve and hit those bricks. Now, these aren't constructed wall bricks. These are field bricks. These are bricks that came from a constructed house across the street. These are rocks come from flood. I thought at first that it was someone cleaning out the culvert, piling it somewhere else, because they can't throw it in the creek, can't do anything with it. But no, even the road department says that it's not them doing it. So, I'll keep this short as I possibly can. Like I said, I'm very frustrated. I've outlined this entire document that I can, as much as I can. And I can get some kind of response to the resolution for this, I would be greatly appreciative. I'd like to make a couple comments on what was said earlier. The rec center has been doing an amazing job. My mother takes her great grandnieces to their events, the library events, and some of these trails I've seen the down around 64. They're creating cabins that are in circular formation, so you have 6 or 7 cabins with a courtyard in the center, out the back door, and a patio all the way around. So you could have these people who want to come in and rent 6 rooms, all for one person. It's a really good idea for all of our tourists, but the local things that they're doing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And on that route that he's talking about there, that Chestnut Road comes straight into Perk Creek there.
I've seen that.
Where's it at? I can't place that.
It is.
Is it up in Perk Creek?
Yeah, it's about a quarter mile up there on the right, but it's a bad entrance to start with, and every time it rains it floods out, but we've put in as big a culvert as we can because it's solid rock bottom, and we've extended the culvert to try to allow a little more turning radius there. And the neighbor there, like he said, Mr. Adams there, he don't want nobody in his yard and on his bank there, but it's tight, and I don't see a way of correcting it. We've been up there with the road department and numerous times, and every time we call it's tough to get a trailer to make that radius there. It's virtually impossible, like he said, and I don't know a way of fixing it. We've extended the culvert, and it blocks up because the culvert, there's more water comes out of there since the property's been logged. There's more water comes out of there than I think it's a 36-inch culvert that's there that it'll handle, and then it comes across Perk Creek and watches the lower side of it too. So it's a problem that I don't know how to fix.
How did they get a log truck out of the wall?
It's tight, ain't it? So,
There's constant reverse just to get a short log truck, not a big log truck. The shortest log truck they can get up in there Takes about 10 minutes of backing up onto that culvert that they installed and going back forward to get around the fill material that he put in there.
And he's pretty much on his property, but,
We
you know,
can't find that out.
Could you stand up, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. That is one thing that we cannot find out. We can't find a definite right of way for the state, even though the state claims it.
for the county.
Actually,
The county. Yeah. I'm
I
sorry.
contacted Steve Dix, and Steve Dix did some research on it and could not, it's one of those old deeds that nobody can locate where it is, and so,
To a rock or to a tree or, and they couldn't
Yeah,
find it.
it is a tree marker.
Okay.
That's the way it is. It's the road, the problem about swinging that curve is the tree marker is there.
Well, you mentioned Mr. Adams. Would it help if you could go that way some?
Yeah, but he don't.
Oh, he don't.
that's
He
public
don't-
options.
He don't want to give up any of,
I got you.
But that, I believe personally that does need to be surveyed, but again, I don't have any adjoining property to this man, to this road.
Right.
I just have to drive through.
yeah, and it's tight there.
It is tough,
Even
but,
in a long wheelbase vehicle, it's
Yeah,
a truck.
I can't get anything brought into that holler back out. It's gonna cause me problems with wanting to start a business. I just recently moved back here. My parents, if my father is in the shade right now, if he slides into the creek, it'll be painful.
And it is, to get out of there, you have to actually be out on our culvert, on top of our culvert running. The way your tars, you know, it comes across and you have to swing out to,
So Judge Adams, where that debris is, and that's really what it is, it's not any, there's no organization to it, it's just, is that not on county right of way there that
I don't know.
you just can't?
You can't, there's no documentation of how wide that entrance is coming up through there. We can revisit and try to
Now, I can
get,
advocate as much as I possibly can. If the county wants to say no, it is not a county road, I can then take legal action to get the right of way. Because I will be creating a business in that area. And I can't. My parents, unfortunately, this wasn't logged. I don't know the resolution of it at the moment. But the first flood FEMA didn't help because the house was not directly affected. The pond filled in, the pond from coal mining in the 70s filled in, our water source filled in. So we are now using city water. Mom and Dad's house during this last flood started growing mold. Mold, it's estimated it's $50,000. Mom's house is $30,000. That'll be what they thought would be their forever home will be destroyed. So this has nothing to do with the intersection.
Yeah.
It just shows a man who is not only doing things to a community, but to people who are unable to fight or advocate for themselves. Sorry this is taking so long.
it's okay. No, thanks. Next, Merle Colley.
Got some papers here I need to hand out to you if you send those around. First, I want to thank the Fiscal Court for, I describe Ted Adams and myself as unpaid volunteer field representative in recovery. But I know that you know his passion for what he's done for many years, trying to help people in addiction. And we see this net recovery as an alternative, if you will, to medically assisted treatment, which what my ideas are about that, but wanted to tell you how much we did appreciate your initial approval of $50,000 to treat up to 10 individuals. As of this date, there's there's been 6 treated. One went to Isaiah House, and because of HIPAA regulations and the referral to that, we don't have a lot of follow-up on that person. But I personally sat through a treatment session 4 to 5 days that we did locally, and those 5 individuals that were treated, I've made contact with, and they all say they're doing fine. I will say this, that they, as indicated in some materials we did before, that some of these folks were on a plethora of drugs. Seems like gabapentin, Neurontin is prescribed along with either Suboxone or Subutex or Sublocade, and some more additional drugs, some of them are on. And like I said, from what I've sat through, what I've seen within a pretty short period of time, just like Ted has represented before, these folks were feeling much better, didn't go through the withdrawals that's typically associated with opioid use disorder treatments, and are functioning very well, back to work. And what we're proposing here is that you had initially, as a court, had made a commitment to $100,000, and then sort of, as I'd say, probably, I guess is the best way to anyway, with the stipulation that once some of these treatments took place, that you look at it again, and that's really what we want you to do. We would like to amend that agreement to put that extra $50,000 in there where we can treat a total of 20 people. And you're in the process of trying to get another treatment session set up. I'll give you a little bit of the reason and history of why they've gone to these treatments outside of Isaiah House. They are now treating in Scott County Detention Center, Franklin County Detention Center, and what they discovered is in an environment where they can isolate people, they do much better. If you're in a common population with 25 or 30 other people that everybody's encouraging you, oh, you don't have to do that. You can get Suboxone anytime you want it. Well, that's not much encouragement for somebody that's trying to get themselves off of drugs. And we would just ask respectfully that you would consider giving that additional $50,000. And I will tell you this, that they are, the net recovery people have made a considerable amount of progress as of late to try to seek other funding. And that's as much as I'll say at this point. But they're still dependent at this point totally for their treatments on the opioid abatement rates. They've picked up several counties since Letcher County agreed to do it. And we would just like to respectfully ask that you consider to amend that agreement, that purchase agreement, and add that $50,000 back to it where we can treat. We've got 4 individuals that we can still treat and bill for, but that's not an ideal group. We'd like to get 10 with each session if we could. So they do have now have medical assistance to where they can process and bring people in. They've got an APRN that they've got on retainer that will actually do that process. That we really struggled to put this first group together, to be honest with you. And like I said, they see that it works much better if they can get, a person don't have to travel 3 hours and make a commitment. At Isaiah House, they basically had an agreement with them that you had to go through 30 days of treatment if you did do the hip device treatment. So, and a lot of folks, people working can't afford if they're on Suboxone. I don't think probably too many on methadone are working, but we didn't treat anybody that was on methadone, but we'd like to target if we could and try that because I don't know how much you know about end-use drugs, but that's a full agonist. And a lot of these people that we've spoken to are on Suboxone and methadone and think they're clean. And, that's just, whoever is representing that to them, that's absolutely a lie. because those are opioids as well. You know, it's, maybe you can function, yes, and I'll be the first to acknowledge that lives have probably been saved by being on the hospital. They all need to be offered as opposed to looking at that as a lifelong endeavor. So that's what I wanted to run by you. Give you an opportunity to look it over with hope that you can look at the amendment as it's amended and the agreement, set aside those funds that we can use. We're actually looking at another treatment session beginning May the 7th. We did see, we had one lady that had taken the Sublocade shots and had taken her last shot in September of last year and was still testing positive and was still craving. With one day's treatment, she went home. I spoke to her this week. She said, I feel fine. I feel the best I've felt in a long time. So, you know, it's everything that Ted has told you that it is. And I saw it myself. We actually dissected through 2 or 3 days of the treatments and the follow-ups and the exams that they do. Very thorough. It's not just like a one-time treatment. You go on that device and they check you about every 2 hours to see how you're doing. And you do the drug screen, you know, to take a test and test positive when you go into that 2 days later, take a test and it's out of your system. That's big stuff.
Anybody got any questions or comments or motion to amend that 50,000 with additional 50,000?
I make the motion.
Has Jamie already read that out?
The amendment?
Yeah.
Yes, probably not. But we initially had,
We initially done that.
had done all of that.
Agreed to do the 50, then report back to do the other 50.
Yeah, and the
Same amendment?
We originally gave them $125,000, so.
Yeah, we're not.
Altogether. Yeah.
And the program is working. It's,
Does Jamie need to look at this?
I just didn't know if there was any legal wording in it that Jamie would need to okay.
it's just amending that agreement.
I'm sure you could okay the.
Yes, I don't see
The
an
other
issue with that.
50,000, and then when Jamie gets back, just, you know, have him check that report, he gets signed.
Yeah.
I'll make that.
And we would like to reserve with you all at a further date. What we want to do and work toward is doing like a short video and testimony by some of the folks that we just treated. And just give that to you as information.
I'll second Chitty's motion.
So is it the same as the initial, or are we going to wait?
It is adding $50,000
Oh,
to
go ahead and add the 50, okay.
And I would point out.
It makes a total of 100.
Getting that $5,000 per person, that has increased to get to 500 with everybody else, but that's still, they're on the original conversation.
And I'll run this agreement by Jamie before I sign it, but I don't see a problem with it.
You mentioned there's been other people that's done it, they've only billed us for one person.
Yeah, we did 5, just.
Oh, okay.
Last.
So that's probably coming up then, putting the bills for the others. Okay.
Any other comments? Call the roll, Angie.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Chitty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Judge Adams?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Merle.
Judge, you need to back up on something.
Okay.
I was looking for something on this bill docket. Take one of these skinny ties. I think Sharon only printed through April 11th.
Oh, okay.
On that docket, so we wouldn't have got the mail, not one check out today.
So this is an addendum to that then?
Well, it is a corrected docket from last meeting through today.
Okay.
I was looking for the sheriff's check on there, because I knew I keyed that in, and I said, I was thinking, let me find that on the docket, and it wasn't on there, and I thought, oh, nothing from the 21st is up here.
So this, yeah, okay.
They're on there now.
So this is just an additional,
Yeah, that includes all of today's checks too.
Okay.
You went from a 6-page to a 14-page docket.
okay. Any questions on any of that? Yeah, I'm glad we got that in because we had to have special.
We had that meeting.
We'd had to have a meeting.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. My phone would have been ringing. So we don't need to do any action, it's just those extras in there.
Our representative come in if you want to give him an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, before we go into old business, Miss Connie Sturgill's here. You wanna add anything to the meeting, Connie?
Just want to say, I'm Connie Stern, I work for I work for USDA Rural Development. I'm with the Rural Partners Network. Just kind of wanted to touch base with the county. A lot of you already know me. Just kind of let you know some of the things that Rural Development offers. They have a lot of granting and loan programs for sewer, water, and community utilities, and things for like a new fire truck or, backhoe or something like that. We've done some things with rescue boats and some of that kind of stuff. A lot of money for water and sewer type things for these higher ground communities and stuff. There's just a lot of programs out there that is available through rural development, and also as being part of the Rural Partners Network, we have access to 20-some other federal agencies that have grants and things like that available. So just kind of wanted to come and listen, see what the county had going on, seeing if I knew anything we could plug in anywhere. And just to let you know that we're available and here to listen to any programs that you may be interested in or projects to see if we can help in any way to find funding for you. So just to kind of, like I said, touch back base. I hadn't been here since some of the new people that came on and that kind of stuff. So just we're here. I've got some cards. I've got some packets if you all are interested in anything. And I can stick around and talk to you after one-on-one, and we can set up a meeting at additional time. So thank you for your time. Appreciate everything the county does here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Connie. Thanks, Connie. Also, we got our state representative.
Yeah,
next
so
week.
the reason why I came over here was to talk to you about Senate Bill 63, but I saw that was on the agenda and you all talked about it already, about the special purpose utility vehicles. That was something I was pretty proud of that we did as a legislature, and it sort of worked through the steps of the legislative process to become what you all saw, where you get to opt in to the special purpose vehicles instead of having to opt out. The original language had it where you would opt out, but now it's an opt-in process. I'd love to see that ordinance, by the way, if we got a copy.
Yeah.
Because all of our cities are going to need to do that as well. They're going to at least have to make a decision. I'm not saying one way or the other how you all should go on it, but that option's there. A big part of the reason why I voted for it was because we've seen down in Harlan County with the trailhead there in Putney. I'm sure you all have seen it. You can't miss it when you're driving past.
Yeah.
If someone drove down 119 to go to the nearest restaurant, they would have been breaking the law. And so with this new law, they can travel up to 20 miles, which allows people to go from those trailheads and trail access points to local businesses and spend some of their money in the local community. So that was a big part of Senate Bill 63. Other than that, the big piece of legislation I worked on this year that didn't pass was changing the jail funding scheme. I know that's a big issue here in Letcher County, and it's a big issue in Letcher. Not so much of an issue in Pike County because they've got the federal prison there that sort of subsidizes their jail operations in Pike County, and we don't have that. But I'd like to see the state take on that burden of housing state inmates. I believe that's only fair. That, if the state's creating the laws that make something illegal, the state should pay for housing that inmate. And ultimately, what I'd like to see is for the state to pay for the medical too. That's a whole other can of worms that we'll have to open up because we're talking about a lot of money. I'll continue to work on it. I spoke to the magistrates on a Zoom meeting. There was like a statewide magistrate Zoom meeting.
Yes, sir.
And I spoke to some folks on there about it, and it's a statewide issue that we're all facing the same issues of funding our jails with increasing costs, and the per diem that the state provides isn't going up the way it should. So that's all I've got. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I do my best to stay in contact with y'all when something comes up during the session. I'm out until January of next year, so I can't propose any laws or anything like that until January, but I can still reach out to the executive branch on your behalf and try to get stuff done in the meantime, if it's within the executive branch's scope of abilities.
We did vote to opt in to the Senate Bill 63.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that they did a lot of work on this to make it a good bill, and I think that it covers all the concerns that one could have about these special use vehicles. They've got to be insured. That was a big thing for me as someone that's litigated a lot of motor vehicle collisions. I wanted to make sure that if somebody is hit or gets hit while driving one of these special purpose vehicles, that there's insurance to cover it, just like if it were a motorcycle or a truck or an SUV or what have you. And then with insurance comes insurance taxes, which I believe will help local governments as well. You know, when you get your insurance bill, there will be a line item on it if you live in the city where you can where you pay a tax. I do it every time to the city of Plymouth Neon for my insurance on my car. That insurance could also go towards the county if the county opted into that. So yeah, I think it's a great bill, and I appreciate you all passing that. I think that it's going to help our economic development, especially our projects that we have going in Plymouth Neon area with ATV trails.
We appreciate your efforts on behalf of the county.
Yeah, no problem. And make sure you thank Senator Maiden too, because he was critical in getting this across the finish line in the Senate. That's where I believe that Johnny Turner tried doing it before and wasn't successful, but this year they got their ducks in a row and really prioritized that bill.
It's going to make a difference across Kentucky.
I believe it will. I think it can make a pretty significant difference. And in Plymouth Neon, anecdotally, I think I see more side-by-sides than I see regular motor vehicles driving up and down the street. So they're already on the roads. Might as well make it legal.
Might as well make it legal.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We'll move into old business.
I'd like to mention this in old business. There was a meeting at the Eola school, I think, last week. Let's see, last Thursday.
Yes.
I attended, Kenny and Deb attended, which I was glad the three of us were there. And they're considering closing the Eola school. And it wasn't even a financial issue, which we always thought it would be. It was more of a student-teacher offset. They only had like 2 apply for kindergarten so far, but they said they expect some more. But all in all, I just wanted to say that I am against closing Eola school. I always will be. That school is a part more than that. It's part of the community. It's the hub of everything that we do over there. It's and those small children being bused across Pine Mountain, I don't agree with that. And then coming down Little Cowan, which is narrow, and we already have buses on Little Cowan. But still, it's just, I think it's just asking too much to do that to our small children. And the next board meeting, they're going to vote on it. I suggest if you're against it, you be there, and they probably, I don't know if they'll let us speak or not, but they are going to vote. So it's up to, contact your school board member. If you don't agree with this, let them know about it. And I don't agree with this in no way or shape. I just wanted to say that, and thank you all for coming. Appreciate you.
So when is their next school board meeting?
28th.
28th of
6
this
o'clock.
month.
They said they would probably move it from the school bus garage to maybe, I don't know. She said she would give us a location.
More than likely the auditorium, I'd say.
That's probably where they're going, auditorium, but the people over there, a lot of people spoke and nobody spoke for it. Everybody over there felt the same as we did. It's just, it's too much of a community thing and those small children, and I just can't see that it would benefit. And there has to be a way to work that out.
And too, all the teachers and cooks and all, is gonna lose their jobs.
Right. They're gonna lose
And
it.
it's tough when you lose a school. I mean,
Yeah.
We lost Campbell Branch, my kids was in school. Camp Tom, and y'all lost
Beckham Bates, yeah.
It does hurt your community.
It does.
Small school like it does.
Yeah.
Especially when that's all they got over there anyway.
Right.
Yep.
They're deserted over there across the side.
And the total agreement was the mountain.
Yeah.
Going over that mountain every day, that's the issue.
And they're gonna lose all them kids to either Harlan County or Virginia because they're not
Right.
gonna cross the mountain.
That's right, they'll lose a large fortune. But that was all what I wanted to mention.
Anybody else got anything?
What about our, go ahead, our roads?
We got 2 roads that we would like to introduce from the road committee, which is me and Kenny and the road foreman Shane. We went and looked at those 2 roads and we would like, and they did pass. We all agree that they can be extended. They're not going to be adopted in, they'll be extended. And that is Music Road on Highway 931 in District 1.
And Buttrey Drive.
Buttrey Drive.
On 1148.
So.
Music Road, Jack, or Road?
Music Road, yes. Yeah.
So the committee looked at them and, okay.
We all agreed, yes, that they can be extended.
So you'll make that in form of a motion?
Yes.
Yes. Make a motion to extend Music Road and Buttrey Drive into the county road system.
We have a second.
I'll second.
And I looked at Buttrey Drive there, it's dangerous. I think.
It is, boy, that's bad coming out of there.
The way that, yeah, that one entrance is.
In and out both dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Call the roll, Angie.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes. Chetty?
I'm gonna vote yes. I've seen both of these roads and familiar with them. And like Kenny said, what the original road is real dangerous. It should always been the other end, but it does need to be done. And Music Road's always been an issue.
It has.
Both of them.
Music
I've ridden
Road.
both of them. I'll say
It had been paved all the way, but yet we stopped the county road earlier back this year.
Yes.
So,
Anything else?
we've got Blackie Days coming up next month, the 16th and 17th. I'd like to invite everybody down. And I need to make a motion that we close that side of the main street there for where we always do. If the court will agree with that, I'd like to make a motion to close the street there for Blackie Days.
What day is on May the?
It's 16th and 17th, but we probably need to close it the 15th through the 18th. Till we get, so that we get cleaned up.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Jack?
yes.
Kenny? Deb? Yes. Chetty?
Yes.
Adele?
Yes. And anybody that ain't been to Blackie Days, you're missing out. It's a good, it's a good little festival, right in the center of Blackie, and hopefully we can get them a community center built back soon.
And we've lost a lot. The 22 flood it's tough a lot out. I mean, we lost, passing away, we lost some special people, and we've lost a lot of homes down there on that one street. And kind of sad on that one side, but and another thing I'd like to bring up is, we're always late getting when they send our flex money stuff. I think it would be a good idea if we all went ahead and had our stuff ready so we could get that done and get it back to the state as soon as they got it to us. And that way we ain't so late when you're trying to get it done. Hopefully we can get it done as soon as they put it off.
Yep.
I agree.
And we can plan on getting about the same amount. You know, it may fluctuate up or down a little bit, but
The main thing is heavy roads and
we can get those roads and keep in mind that they have to score 8 or 9 on that. You know, Ken and them go out and check them, but they have to make that score before we can authorize getting them done. So kind of keep that in mind.
I usually get with Shane and go with it. That way he kind of helps me.
Shane's a pretty good judge on it.
Yeah, he does.
Judge Adams, do we still get the ones from last year that were not completed? That we did? Do we know when that resurfacing will begin?
I talked to Mountain Enterprise there last week, and they're saying at the last of May, 1st of June, right now. They initially said that they was coming in early spring, soon as the plant opens, but they kind of put us, they kind of put us in a spot on getting our paving work. They control the rock, and they control the asphalt plants, and we just kind of at their mercy on getting these projects done. But I have spoken with them. They're going to, they said they'd try to work with it, but that's the dates they give me.
So I guess we need to check to see if any culverts need changed. It's gonna be in the blacktop area too, and get them done too, don't we?
Yes.
As quick as we
Yeah.
can.
Yep. That, we need to probably concentrate on that, on those. I don't remember the roads that we had last year that didn't get done, but let's kind of look at those in each district and see what we need to prioritize with the guys before that starts.
I guess the DRC guy didn't show up today, did he?
No, not for those.
I didn't figure he would.
There's no change on that, are they? Just still doing the same?
They're still doing the right-of-way and the culverts.
Yeah.
do they look to be any more changes on that? Have you seen anything that may get updated or changed?
They are looking at our waterway stuff, about some hot spots of where they can start if a project develops in the waterway.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've not heard any confirmation of that though.
So Brent called me and asked me to make a list of waterways in my district, but you know, I just, every road.
That's what I told them too.
You can't pick them. Every road, Brent.
Is that
and there's some of them that are worse.
That's on the grant money we got in. Is that what she's working on, or is this with other?
This was with NRCS, she did mention
Yeah,
that, so.
that's with the mitigation project, which, you know, it's kind of the same as those waterway. If you've got anything that is where the stream bed's top at the road level, we need to know about those for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we've got them all, but they are looking at that for us now.
Came through Breathitt County yesterday. The river down there's up even with the banking places. It's choked down to a creek, and that's going to cause them all kinds of issues.
All the eastern Kentucky counties is that way.
I've got some issues at the Blackie Park. I think you can make one on this week and look at. I need some to get new backbone bolts and goals, or do I need to put anything in the culture?
We can look at them and see. I mean, a real big expense. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
I make it.
Second.
That wasn't as fast as you and Benny.
Chetty?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Deb? Yes.
I may have to take
Yes. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you staying.
All correct, and I make